How do I feel? I feel amazing. I can't tell you, I don't know in words, but I do. I feel amazing.
I'm feeling great. It's been a great experience so far, and yeah, I feel like a completely different person.
I would say I was able to convince my brother to come in. Now, I've gone through the program once before, a few years ago, and I was on my way to being 400 pounds. And I knew I just had to make a change. And it was right after COVID, really. And I had to make a change. And so I found, through social media, I found Dr. Dubiak and the staff down here, and I thought, well, I just want to give this a shot and see, see what it's all about and do the blood work and just go from there.
And how I found out about the program was through my brother and his success. And I was in a bad situation. I was getting to the same point that he was getting. I was over 300. I was pushing 310 pounds. My family, basically, it was almost like an intervention. And my brother and my sister-in-law talked me into, they said, at least go get your blood work done. Meet with Dr. Dubiak and see how you feel about this program. Just meeting with Dr. Dubiak, going over things with him, getting the blood work done, felt pretty good about the program. And I started the program, and I haven't looked back.
Body by AIM360 absolutely changed my life, also changed my wife's life, and I credit Dr. Dubiak with not only my weight loss, but he saved my wife's life. No doubt about it, hands down. She was diabetic, and she's had some different health issues and things, and she was going for a heart attack, and Dr. Dubiak went through the blood work with her, and there's no doubt, he said, you're a heart attack away. And both of us, I wish my wife could have been here today, but both of us are so grateful for what Dr. Dubiak and his wife and the staff here is fantastic, what they've done. I just can't thank them enough.
My life the quality of life has just improved tremendously. Like I said, just doing stuff around the house, it was kind of a joke in our family, the speed of Carl, because I was always hyper, I was always moving, I was always going. And it got to the point where it was all I could do to just function. And now I'm just nonstop. I'm back to being almost like a machine. And things I've noticed more and more, and I catch myself doing yard work, reaching down, picking up a stick effortlessly. And just things that you lose track of, and you don't realize how far that I've come from losing the weight, and just like I said, I'm just a completely different person now.
Some of the results that I've had, and again, I've been through it twice now. The first time was after the pandemic, and I said I was about 400 pounds. I went through, and I think about 6, 7, 8 months, I dropped 110 pounds. And it was unbelievable. And I'll tell you, when I first came on board and met the staff, met Dr. Dubiak, and we went through the whole thing, I told my wife when we left here, and it was kind of funny. And I told Dr. Dubiak this too, this isn't anything that he hasn't heard, but I said, we're gonna do everything that this man told us to do. We're gonna do it by the book, to the T. And I want to prove this guy wrong, because so far I haven't really found a program that worked. And believe me, I'm 57 years old, and I've been wanting to get the weight off in the worst way for years. And I've tried everything, and it never worked. So I was going to prove this man wrong. And I told my wife, I said, we're going to do it to a T. And I'm telling you, within, 2 months, in 60 days, I dropped 55 pounds, almost 60 pounds. And I mean, it was just coming off of me. And from there, it just, it just kept coming off.
Life-changing for me. Going into this, I kind of had an advantage because I had my brother and I had my sister-in-law, and I saw the results they had. So I knew what to look forward to. When I started, my brother and my sister-in-law would coach me a little bit, and they'd say, no, you gotta stick to your guns. When you start this program, you've got to follow through. And it wasn't a challenge. Being coached by Dr. Duviak, by the office, by the nutritionist, and being guided like that was wonderful. And the fact that when I started the program, my appetite and the curve of my appetite, I went through it, so it was almost effortlessly. The diet that they gave us was it was easy to do, absolutely. It wasn't like I was starving myself. All I had to do was eat right and follow the guidance of Dr. Duviak's office and my nutritionist, and the weight started falling off. I started at the end of May, and to this date, I'm 80 pounds lighter and completely different person.
Is this something I'm going to do for the rest of my life? And as if, if I had somebody that I can refer, or a brother or somebody, absolutely I would. It's been an amazing experience. And like I said, I've been through this. This is my second time around. The first time, unfortunately, I put my back out, and that kind of stopped me from exercising, and of course a little bit of depression sets in, you start eating again, and before I knew it, I was back up to 330, and I just was so disappointed, and I actually felt embarrassed even calling here again and saying I need help. But I did, and I'm so glad I did. So this time, the second time around, there's no looking back. So this is a lifetime, this is changing me for the entire life. And yeah, I'm not looking back. So I can see myself. In fact, talking to Dr. Dubiak here this afternoon, I said, I didn't think I'd hit 220, but now that's my goal. I'm gonna hit 220. And I'm in a 38 waist. I haven't been in a 38. Like I said, I'm 57. I haven't been in a 38. I think, I'm gonna say it was probably the early 90s. So somewhere around there, but absolutely, this is life-changing.
Absolutely, I'd refer this program. In fact, I do it all the time. With my job and my coworkers, and they see the results, and they've seen how well I've progressed with this. My wife, when we sat down and had a family discussion about this and going on the program, and my wife said, Carl, the only way you're going to lose weight is you need help. I mean, you've reached a point. I've gone from, again, 310 pounds to 230 pounds, and I'm the same situation where, I want to be at 220, and that's my goal. And yeah, and we've moved it along pretty quick. But yeah, so it's been life-changing, and yeah, I don't ever want to look back at where I was at. I want to stay right where I'm at and move forward.
The reason I think we did this as brothers, and I tried to get him to go through this the first time around, and he did see the results, but he just wasn't quite there yet. The second time, I was so excited for him to get started and meet Dr. Dubiak, meet the staff and everybody. Yeah, and I've been so proud of him for what he's been able to do and accomplish. Again, we started this, I believe, in April of this year, and here we are, 6 months, 7 months later, and yeah, we both feel great. I mean, we're just different men. I mean, at this point, and just, again, I have nothing but praise for this staff and this program, and I tell everybody, and anybody that struggles, believe me, I tell people where to go.
And yeah, as far as, I mean, it was kind of self-explanatory. I mean, seeing my brother's results, seeing how it was working. Like I said, it was kind of a family intervention, and I knew it was time. I mean, like Brett said, when it was the first time he went through it, I really wasn't quite there yet. I was continuing to gain weight, and when I hit that 310 pound mark, and we kind of had the family intervention, and our family's pretty close. It was time for change. And as far as my health, you'd walk up a flight of steps and I'd start to sweat. Like I said, it was all I could do to bend over. I was wearing a knee brace because my knees couldn't hold up. I was on 6 medications, just compensating for my weight. here I am. I'm not really taking any medications at this point, and all of this was for, basically doing maintenance. Going the direction I needed to go, and getting the help I needed.